So welcome to the last new Game Stuff episode of the year 2025. It's been an amazing year, and we're ending with a really good new Game Stuff episode in that there's a lot to talk about, a lot of old games, a lot of new games, a lot of new hardware that's mimicking old hardware. We're going to get into it, and before I begin, I will ask you guys, what's some new game stuff that you picked up? Some new games, some old games, some toys or action figures? Let me know down below. So to start with, we're starting with some really interesting hardware, and this was sent over by Analogue. I just got an email one day and they're like, do you want to review this unit? And I'm like, yes I do, because I have a long-standing relationship with the original Nintendo 64 right here. This is my original one that I bought in 1996 on the launch day. I bought Mario 64 at that time, and it was a remarkable purchase. So yes, Analogue is a company that takes old hardware and redoes it in a way that you can play all of those old games on new machines now. And here it is, the Analogue 3D. And I just want to highlight this right here. And yeah, they sent me a big box full of stuff, and I was like, oh my god, this is like really crazy. And I just want to say I really love the design here. And let's compare both the N64 and the Analogue 3D together. And it's funny, this unit here is smaller, just a tiny bit than the original, and it's fascinating. So what is this unit? What does it do? It plays all your original N64 games in 4K on your TV. Yeah, you heard it right, and that's the big selling point here. And there's a lot of people that grew up with the N64, and I think this is the unit for them, because I haven't plugged mine into a TV in, I don't know, a very, very long time. And I just want to say something really wild that happened. I had a real nostalgic moment with this because I plug it all in and I go through the filters. I just want to say that every single game you can adjust the filters, and there's a lot of filters to go through. This is something that you've got to figure out for yourself in the way that you like. I personally like the clean look of the graphics and really a kind of a crisp look. It's still the N64, so it's going to look like the N64, but it looks pretty good on the TV. And so I hooked it all up. I picked all my games, and then I brought out my original controller here. This is my original controller for the N64, and the great news is you can just plug it in and use all of your old controllers, all of your old rumble packs, all of that stuff with this. Or the other great thing, and they sent me 4 of these. I wish I had 4 friends. I have about 3, but look, they sent me this. This is the wireless controller, and this is a really nice controller. I was playing it with Kim. This is a great controller if you don't have this controller. So this is right out of the box, and so you can use that right away. So as I hooked it all up, I am not Digital Foundry, and I'm definitely not Joe from GameStack in my technical analysis of these machines. There's way too much going on there, but I got my system up and running. I got all the settings for every single game, and I put in the Ocarina of Time, and something really weird happened. Something that I did not expect. I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna capture some footage for this. I put it in, and I saw my old character was still on the cart. It had saved it all of these years later on the battery backup. My original character. I couldn't believe it. We're talking like 27 years ago that character was still on there, and I was kind of frozen for a second. I'm like, I can't believe this character's still on here. I just kind of thought in time, the batteries would die, something like that, but well, no. It's quite remarkable. And so I started to play that, just getting that nostalgia. And this is a nostalgia machine. This is for people who really like the N64, that have a lot of fond memories of it. I certainly do. Playing Mario Kart, with my dad, and obviously Mario 64 was the really big deal. And Wave Race.
3, 2, 1.
Wave Race, just to see that water. I always remember hiking up with my friend Rob, my friend Satan, my friend Aaron, up in the snow to Blockbuster Video and renting Wave Race. Back in, oh my God, it must be 96, 97, and coming back and playing it, and we were like blown away by the water physics. And I mean, it's like so many years later now, and you look at the water physics, you're like, well, that's novel, but you know what? It's really a product of its time, and it's very nostalgic for a lot of us. So if you're on the fence, I think this is good hardware, and I think it does the job. Every game I put into it, it registered, it saw all the filters I put onto it. I'm still experimenting with all the filters and to figure out my optimal way to play all my games. But I just want to say, I've been kind of really surprised by this, and I've been excited to play my old N64 games on a 4K television and have them look pretty good. So let's move on to some games, some modern games that are mimicking the past, and that's only a great thing. Obviously, I reviewed Shinobi, Art of Vengeance here, where I had to pick up my own physical copy of this game, because I always do that. Any game that I review on the show, I always pick up and support, because I wanted to play the game. I like the game. I enjoy the game, and I gotta say, this is Year of the Ninja. It really is. We got Ninja Gaiden 4, we have Ninja Gaiden Ragebound. There's so many ninja games, and I'm really happy about all of this. I just want to say Art of Vengeance is a great game. It really is. It's a challenging game as well, but it mimics the original Shinobi, but gives it this beautiful hand-drawn aesthetic, and I think it works really well. I think a lot of people are saying, oh, I prefer the pixel artwork of the original games. I'm with you. I love that old pixel artwork, but I also want something new and something different. And I thought they did a great job with this, and I really loved the animation and the soundtrack. So my friend Clayton was playing this game during the Halloween time, and my friend Andrew recommended this game to me years back when it was on the PS2, and that is for The Thing. And this is The Thing remastered. And I just want to say something. I haven't played this game, but everything I've seen of it, I'm like, this looks amazing. I love the original The Thing movie. I think I saw The Thing movie in like 1983 for the first time when it came on. I think it was on Super Channel for Canada here, and I watched it with my family, and it scared the living bejeebus out of me. I was like 9, and I loved it though. It scared me, but it just opened my imagination, and I love The Thing. And so I'm looking forward to maybe next Halloween jumping into this. That would be more appropriate of a time to play this, or maybe this Christmas when it's snowing a lot. Okay, the next game I'm gonna ask you guys about, because I love the movies unapologetically. I really love the movies. I'm a big fan. I'm looking forward to seeing the next one in the theater this Christmas. But what do you guys think of Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora? This dropped in price, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna give this a shot. And I must admit, I played the original, Avatar game that came out years ago, and I didn't particularly like it. I think I put it in a Games I Hate episode. But I'm always one to give another chance to the next game in the kind of series and to see what they've done here. Is this game worthy of my time? Have any of you played it? And I'm really asking, because I really want to know what you guys think. I'm kind of fascinated about it. Obviously, the visuals are really amazing, and I love the Avatar world. I love Pandora. I love the insanity of it all, and I'm just kind of looking forward to kind of jumping into it a little bit. But I want to know, is it worth the time? Let me know down below. Now, a lot of people watch my show for some game recommendations, and I watch a lot of shows to find out some game recommendations for myself. And it's so exciting when you find one of those little hidden gem style of games. And that was from my friend Radical Reggie. I was watching one of his videos, and he talked about this, Sonic Origins Plus. I gotta admit, I can't keep up with the Sonic games and some like the new games, the old games. I'm kind of like out of that, of what's really going on. I should say that. But when he mentioned that the Sega CD versions are in here, and they have the Japanese and English soundtracks, I was sold. I had to hunt this down. I'm like, I've got to get this, because I've never talked about it, I really love Sonic CD. And it was one of the first games I got from my Sega CDX back in the day, and I love the soundtrack. And then I got to hear the Japanese soundtrack, and I'm like, oh my God, this like game is like amazing. And so to have it on a collection with the original games, oh, count me in. I think that's really amazing that this exists, and I didn't know it existed. You know, it's funny, you have a video game show, but you're always learning. Nobody knows the answers to everything. Nobody is the guru at the top of the mountain is like, I know everything about video games. There's nobody like that exists. And so it's always fun to find out about something that you missed out on, and this is one that I definitely missed out on. Okay, yes, I finally picked this up. I know a lot of people bought it digitally because they couldn't wait, where I was going to wait because I wanted a physical copy of it, and that is for The Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Remastered right here. And I gotta say, this was a game that I bought on my Xbox 360 on launch day, and I finished it maybe about a week and a half later, and I fell in love with it. I just loved the game so very much, and I've talked about it before. The Elder Scrolls games were something of a dream for me when I'd be in high school, imagining what my ultimate fantasy games would be, where, yeah, it'd be like Oblivion, and obviously it would be Skyrim as well. And I'm looking forward to Elder Scrolls 6 coming out. It was, I think, 2026, so hopefully they announce it then. But I am just blown away by the remaster of this game, and I can't wait to kind of jump into it and just kind of revisit that magic again. And it was magical. It was worth owning an Xbox 360 for that launch, and I bought it for that launch game. And so it's really great to have this in a remastered form.
I have seen the gates of Oblivion, beyond which no waking eye may see.
Okay, I'm gonna show a vinyl soundtrack here because it relates to a game I've never talked about and I really want to talk about. And the soundtrack is here. The game is Whizorb, and this is the video game soundtrack. This was very hard for me to find. And let me give a backstory. I was just on the Nintendo eShop one day, just kind of like going around, and I saw this game called Whizorb. And I just want to say something. The game's like $5, right? It's not some expensive game or anything like that. And I was like, oh, it's kind of like a Pong style of game. I kind of like that, but it has RPG elements. And so I thought, you know what? I'll give it a go. And I've never talked about this on the show in the games I'm playing or anything like this. This is like one of my guilty pleasure games that I play when I want to take a break from everything else and I just want to have like some downtime from video games by playing a video game. I play Whizorb, and it's really cool. I love this game, and I just want to just shout it out. I don't know anybody who worked on the game. I don't know anything about it. I had to buy the soundtrack off Discogs because I couldn't find it anywhere. It's been long out of print, and the reason why I had to buy the soundtrack is because the damn music is so good. And it's one of those things you play in the game and it's really a hypnotic game and you just go into it. And Kim's always seeing me play. She's, oh, you're playing this again. And I'm like screaming or carrying on, having a good time playing it. But it's a guilty pleasure game for me. And I really love it. But the soundtrack is so phenomenal and long out of print. This is long out of print. And I heard the soundtrack and I'm like, I've got to have this. I gotta find, is there a vinyl? And I'm like, there is. And it was like hard to find. And I'm like, I've got to get it. And have any of you played Whizorb? Am I the only crazy person that's played this game? And I recommend it. I will recommend it. It's not an expensive game, and I think I love recommending games that are really cheap and you can really get something out of. And I was playing it on the Nintendo Switch, so give it a go, Whizorb. Okay, I bought a boxed TurboGrafx game, and I tend to do this once in a while. The nostalgia hits me, and I'm like, let's go into that evil place known as eBay. And I did, and I picked up this, and this is this is for John in 1989. And that is Victory Run on the TurboGrafx. I just want to say something. Look at the graphics, no pun intended. That is so 1980s. It's the end of the 80s. It's like 1988, 89 that this was probably created. I think the game came out in 89. But look at those graphics. And I always remember seeing this in the back of video game magazines and going, oh my gosh, this is the TurboGrafx has got a racing game. And I was really, really excited to try it. Well, I didn't get to try it back then. I was never able to track the game down. It was only years later, through emulation, did I eventually play it. And what can I say about it? It's a novel game. It's not a great game. It's I like to say a product of the time, but it was a pretty good racing game for 1989. Maybe not for 2025, but that's okay. I gotta say the opening song still holds some nostalgia for me. Like when I listen to it, it kind of takes me back to the simpler days of the TurboGrafx. And you guys know, I just love the TurboGrafx. I'm a big fan of it. And this graphic here really stands out to me and really takes me back in time to a simpler time in my life when the TurboGrafx had just launched. And one that I'm really happy to have in the collection. But I tell you, graphic-wise, it's not gonna blow you away, but it did have some kind of cool things. It had like a day to night thing in the game, which, you know, nowadays, every single game has that. But back then, you're like, oh my God, look at that. It's got day to night. And even in the early 2000s when I played this game, I was like, you know what? That's pretty novel to do in a TurboGrafx game back then. So I got a mysterious package from Nintendo, and this showed up, and I'm like, what is this about? What is this about? And I got very excited. I gotta say that. I got very excited when I opened this up, and I'm like, what is this? Get ready, Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, Nintendo Switch 2 edition. And I'm like, oh my God, like what is this? Like what is this? Where it's pretty cool. It has nothing to do with the fourth game realistically, but it does. And that is, comes with a nice little note. It comes with the art book. The art book for Metroid Prime 1 to 3, a visual retrospective. And I was like, I can't wait to dive into this book. Let's have a look at some of the artwork. Yes, the new game is coming out. We're all very excited about it. But it all started for us in the past, playing the original Metroid Prime, and I was really happy a couple of years ago to play the remastered version of Metroid Prime to kind of get me a little bit, you know, built up with the hype for Metroid Prime 4. And I've already picked up the amiibos for Metroid Prime 4. I'm very excited about it. I just want to thank Nintendo. Thank you guys for sending this over. It goes to a really big fan of the series, and yes, the hype is there for Metroid Prime 4. And something that was also sent over by Square Enix right here. I know it's under a whole bunch of plastic going on, but it is for Final Fantasy Tactics, the Ivalice Chronicles edition. This is the collector's edition, and there's a lot going on here. Your main character is included. You got some plushies, you got some crystals. There's a lot, and this is a great special edition. I just want to thank Square Enix for a second here. I really do. And I really want to say I'm really sorry about a lot of the layoffs that have been going on lately. I knew a lot of these people, and I dealt with them over the years, and they were really great people. I dealt with a lot of great people, really passionate about the games that they worked on, and really passionate about getting their games to fans, not just big YouTubers. I won't even call myself like a big YouTuber, but I am bigger than a lot of channels. I do understand that. But they were always looking for the smaller channels to help them out, to get the games to the fans. And that's something that I know behind the scenes, because I deal and talk to a lot of smaller channels, and I would recommend them talking to some people at Square Enix, and they always reached out. And they always connected. I was always a little bit in awe. Square Enix was really good for that. They were really good behind the scenes. And I just want a big thank you to them over the years, because I've dealt with so many people across the industry, and the turnover rate in the industry is insane. This is kind of a little bit of a rant here. It is insane. And so even at Bandai Namco, I started off dealing with somebody, then I get transferred to somebody else, to somebody else, to somebody else. I don't even know who I'm dealing with anymore. It's really weird. And to do with Square Enix, I feel the same way. I've dealt with so many people over the years that have been let go. I don't even know who I'm dealing with over there anymore. And it's really kind of a sad state of affairs. And I wish all those people the best, especially during the holiday season. And it's a tough time to lose your job. Especially during the Christmas times. I've been there in the past. It's not a nice thing. It's not a great thing. And so I just wish everybody all the best. And just a big thank you from me, from my side of things. And I think a big thank you from a lot of other creators as well. And for this next item, I'm gonna need a special helper in the way of my knife right here. And so we got a big box, and you know, I ordered this a while ago. I probably ordered this about a year plus ago. And you know me, limited run games is really hit or miss with me these days, but they always pull at the heartstrings, and I had already ordered this and I couldn't say no to it. And I think you'll know why when I cut this open. And can I open this up this way? Of course I can't, because that would make too much sense. I'll open it up this way. Oh, I know everybody's like, what is this? You know, this is something that would have made the John in the year 2001 ecstatic. And are you ready for it? Are you ready for it? This works, and you'll understand why I had to order this, because of my skateboarding past. And that is for, look at this, isn't this super cool? This is Phantasy Star Online, the original game. And look at those characters right there. Look at all of them. I know them all so well. I think I made a version of every single character in the game. And when I saw this go up, I was like, I have to order Phantasy Star Online Skate Deck. I would never skateboard on it, but just to have up on the wall, this game means so much to me. And I know a lot of people talked about it over the years, like they'd love to see a remaster of this game, and you'll never get it, folks, because I don't think Sega wants to deal with the online side of things. They already have Phantasy Star Online 2 that they're dealing with. That's their bread and butter. That's what they want to do. And so this is something from my past, a game that I spent, I think it was when I added up all my VMUs, it was about 750 hours. And that's from the GameCube version to the Dreamcast version. Just too much. But you know what? I never regret a single second playing this game and all of the time I sank into it. In fact, it got me through some hard times in my life. And I think very fondly of Phantasy Star Online. So I have a couple more items to talk about, but I also wanted to show my shirt right here. And I never do props to shirts, but this company reached out to me and they're like, hey, you are into all the style of games that we like and we make shirts about. Can we send you a shirt? And I'm like, okay, sure. And there was no back and forth that I had to plug their channel or anything like that. They're like, we just want to send you the shirts. And so they sent me this. They sent me a Tiger Heli shirt. For anybody who knows that great game, I have it on the PC Engine, and this is a Toe Plan shirt. And so I'm going to leave a link down below to these guys. Go and check out their shirts because, and the reason why I'm recommending them is because they do shirts that I think a lot of us like all of these shooters. All your base art belong to us. When I saw this, I'm like, this is the most amazing shirt. I'll leave a link down below. I didn't say that I would plug them. I didn't say I would do anything like that. I just want to do a good deed to a company that's very small, that I only have a few shirts out, not a lot, and I think they're doing really amazing shirts and stuff that I will wear on the show and stuff that I will support for sure. So that's my little plug for those guys. I'll leave a link down below. So that's my good deed done for the day, but let's go back to the past here. I picked up two things that are tabletop game related, that relate to me in my past in the year 1988-89, and games that me and my friends played all the time, but they own the games. I didn't. The first one right here is the Robotech, the role-playing game. This book right here by Palladium back in the day. And we played this all the time. We really did. Just playing the Zentradi versus the SDF-1 Macross. Obviously, this is based off Macross. This is a role-playing game built for Robotech, and we loved it. The funny thing is, my friend down the street, the Catos, in the back of their house, they had a tree fort, which I don't have any pictures of, like a tree house, built in a tree. And we'd all go up there. We were all small enough to get up there, and we would all play Robotech all day. That is no joke. I wish I had a picture of that treehouse. We used to play Axis and Allies in there, and Robotech, the role-playing game, and one other game that I'm saying Facebook Marketplace is the place to go to at times. So I'm just surfing on there, and I don't have like a personal Facebook page or anything, but I go through Kim's marketplaces so I can look up some items and stuff like that. Oh my God, I found this. And this is a game that is by TSR that we used to play all the time back in the day. Marvel's Superheroes, the heroic role-playing game by TSR, the original Dungeons and Dragons creators. And I've looked for this on eBay, and they're usually in not very good shape, and they're really expensive, like ridiculously. Where somebody was selling this on Marketplace for a really cheap price, and it's mint and it's complete. And I was like, oh my God, the nostalgia. We used to play this game all the time, and we really had a good time. I think back to me and my friends in like 1988, 89, down the street. I talk about them a lot. We had some really good times. Those classic nerdy times that everybody talks about, where you'd be watching, the Monty Python, the Holy Grail, and you'd be playing these games, and some people would be playing some video games on the Sega Genesis, and it's good times, and I have a lot of good times, and I just wanted to kind of capture some of those by getting some of these old role-playing games from my past, and just love them. And I just love the classicness of the artwork there, of all of the characters on there, characters that we know so well. And in a time when superheroes were only big in comic book form, there was a couple of movies that come out, but it wasn't anywhere near the superhero insanity that it is nowadays. And we would relive and play and experience superheroes by playing them in a tabletop setting. And really great to find this, and really great to finally pick this up. And I'll ask you guys, what have you picked up in the way of new game stuff? Some brand new games, some old games, some new merch, some toys or figures? Let me know down below. So anyways, guys, until next time.